How's it going, guys? This is week 4 of my phase 1 25k FTMO prop firm account. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I talked about how I wanted to start small with a 25k account to prove to you guys my profitability. So in this video, I'll be breaking down exactly every trade that I took the last few weeks and how far I am in my challenge. But yeah, that's enough of the yapping. Let's get into the video. Yo, so this is my FTMO account. As you can see, I am up quite a bit. Let's see how. Yeah, we took about 6 trades the last few weeks. I won 3 trades and lost 3 trades. So yeah, 50-50. It is what it is. So far consistency score is 83%. Doing the same thing over and over again, not changing anything up. 47% win rate, which is still good. Average profit 407. Average loss is small. Gotta keep your losses small. Target about 1 to 2, but some of my trades I exit early when I think the trade is not gonna go out into my favor. So that's why it's showing that the average is 1.81. But I mainly target at 1 to 2. So before I get into the trades, I would like to show you guys my journal so far. This is my journal for the trades that I took. So the nice thing about this journal is that I'm able to filter things out and refine my trades to the point where my win rate is so high that I don't even need to worry about losing. I mean, I will still take losses, but if you guys want to get this journal, just go to the description and I'll put the link to my journal. It's for free and you can just mark down your trades. As you can see, I have correlation, areas of interest, all these things. An example of this journal working is if I go to filter and I put the time. I want to know the time that's probably best to trade. I'll probably put 8 a.m. and as you can see, it's showing the win rate is 33%. There's not enough trades. 9 a.m. win rate 66. Not enough trades to determine the win rate fully for this journal. But with this journal, you can refine trades, see what works, see what doesn't. You will cut out a lot of time into your trading journey if you implement this journal into your trading journey. But yeah, that's enough of the yapping. Let's get to the trades that I took this week. Took 6 trades. The first trade that I took was USD CAD. As you can see, we're in a bullish trending behavior market. We have this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So the previous video I was talking about the 50 price pulling back below the 50% of the fib, which is what happened over here. Price came down, we pulled back below the 50% of the fib. And what I do after that is after price pulled back 50% of the fib, it came into this demand zone right here. It's a 30-minute demand zone. Yeah, it came into this demand zone right here. After it came into this demand zone, I waited for a change of character because I wanted more confirmation for this trade. So we got a change of character. Price broke this high, got this change of character, price broke this high, and I entered on the pullback. And yeah, that was the rest of the trade. Yeah, trade hit, take profit. That was trade 1. Yeah, I made $530 off this trade. I target more than a 1 to 2 because I want to cover up the fees a little bit. So I would sometimes target 1 to 2.1 or 1 to 2.15. Really depends. Now the second trade that I took was Euro USD. Now this trade is kind of confusing, but I used a higher time frame to get this trade. I used a 4-hour. Now same idea, you see. It's the same idea, but just in the higher time frame. So we have this push and pull. You know, higher highs, you know, higher low. And price came into the 50% of this range below it. So I was looking for a demand zone I wanted to enter in, and I see this demand zone right here on the 4-hour. So I marked that as my zone, and I was looking to enter a trade in the 15-minute within that zone, which I got the trade right here. Okay, so price came into my demand zone. I entered the trade, but the only problem with this trade is I exited the trade early. I exited about right here because there was news, so I didn't want to stay in the trade and get slippage like last time. And after when news came, I was expecting it to be like a strong news to probably go up strongly or down strongly, and so I moved my stop loss right here, and The news stopped me out, obviously, but the news was not that strong, so I could have stayed in this trade. But hey, who knew how the news was gonna go? So I'm still happy that I exited the trade. But yeah, I exited the trade right here, and afterwards price shot up to my take profit. So I didn't really make much in that trade, which sucks. Let me see. This was a trade. I made 0.29%. It was a small win. I'm still happy that I got out the trade. But yeah, that was a trade. I was looking to re-enter after news, but it didn't come deep enough for my re-entry. Those trades sucks when it goes against you. I mean, goes in your favor, but it is what it is. And the second trade I took was this trade off of this same demand zone refined into the 4-hour. The reason I took this trade was because instead of a 30-minute zone, there was a 15-minute zone down here. This whole zone in the 30-minute was like this whole zone right here. It was a 4-hour. This right here is the 4-hour zone. This right here is the 15-minute zone. You can't really see it. And this right here is the 30-minute zone. So in the 30-minute, there's this whole big demand zone over here. But in the 15-minute, when you go lower, there's another demand zone on there. So I wanted to enter that to see if I can get a better entry. But I got stopped out pretty quickly, which is okay. And I lost 1%, which is not too bad. And the last trade I took for Euro USD was this trade. Same idea, just do the same thing over and over again. Don't overcomplicate it. Higher time frame, same concept, 50%. Look for price to come below the 50%, and look for demand zones below that 50% range. And I saw this demand zone. It looked nice, so I decided to enter in a refined. When I'm looking at the higher time frame, like the 4-hour, and I'm looking at a demand or supply zone, I wouldn't want to enter exactly on that 4-hour demand zone. I would like to look for demand or supply or demand zones within that 4-hour supply and demand zone, just refining it even more. The more you refine, the more accurate your trades are. And yeah, that's what I've been doing this whole time. Refining zone right here. This is my 15-minute zone, and so I look to enter this trade. And the other part about this trade is we had liquidity. We have a lot of liquidity behind this trade, especially on the 4-hour. You saw how the liquidity was. We have a lot of liquidity. These numbers indicate liquidity in the market, which is why I like using this indicator. If you want to know the name of the indicator, it is called Liquidity Swings by Lux Algo. Yeah, I use it to indicate my liquidity, and yeah, I entered this trade and it did pretty well. It went took its time though, but yeah, that was the trade for Euro USD. And last pair, AUD USD. Could have ended the week up 4%, but it is what it is. AUD USD, this was my worst trade. Actually, I'm happy to take this trade over and over again, but as you can see, price shot down aggressively. A lot of you might know the reason why this happened. It was Trump's tariff, and this caused price to push down aggressively. But it is what it is. Same idea as Euro USD. Bottom of the range, top, look for demand zones around the 50%, below the 50%. I mean, we have a demand zone here, marked it up. We have liquidity sitting behind these areas, and we entered off a 15-minute demand zone right here. There's two 15-minute demands zones that I saw that were unmitigated, and I was looking to enter this trade. It looked like a great trade. This trade happened so fast that I didn't even get a chance to record it. So yeah, this trade sucks. Honestly, if price were to come a little deeper, I would probably had a better chance. But yeah, I got tagged in, a little bit of profit, smacked. Same goes for this, but no profit, and I got smacked. It is what it is. I put it down in my journal. I learned 2 losses in a row, and yeah, that was the trades for the remainder of the rest of the week. And the last trade that I could have taken today, but it did not tag me in. I could have taken a trade today, but it didn't tag me in, which sucked. It was this trade in USD CAD. Same idea. Price pulled back to the 50% right here. Same idea, 50% mitigated. And I wanted price to come into this demand zone. When I was waiting for this trade, price came 50% or below. There was this demand zone that I liked over here. It had liquidity, mitigated a previous demand zone. So I wanted to enter this trade. And when price came into the zone, near around the zone, it barely mitigated it. and then it pushed up very aggressively. It is what it is, but yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's the trades that I took this week, and so far in the account, the equity is moving very smoothly. You can't expect to pass a challenge within a month that easily, unless you have a winning streak or a winning month. But I mean, I have a winning month currently, but so far I'm doing, I would say, good in the account. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this far into the video. Stay paid.